Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome you all in today's second session of Faculty Development Program sponsored by AICT under Atal scheme and organized by Department of Mechanical Engineering, Christian College of Engineering and Technology, Bhilai. Today's invited speaker for this session is Sri Vikas Nashine, DGM BSP Bhilai, who has already joined with us. You are most welcome, sir.
Okay.
It's our honor and privilege to have Sri Vikas Nashine with us, who will deliver a talk on factors affecting productivity in coke rate in blast furnace iron making process. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you, sir. Sri Vikas Nashine is working from last 31 years in the various plants of Steel Authority of India SAIL and presently working as Deputy General Manager Blast Furnace at Bhilai Steel Plant Bhilai. He has worked in sinter plant and blast furnaces in Durgapur and Bhilai Steel Plant. He has visited all steel plants of SAIL, JSW, JSPL and Tata. He has completed MTech in Steel Technology and also pursuing MBA from CSVT Bhilai. He is fond of reading books, attending motivational lectures, work for development of children also. I am pleased to have such an eminent personality with us. Thank you again, sir, for joining with us. Now, I will hand over this session to you, sir. Please, sir, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome in this such a great program. The subject which I am taking is related with the productivity, factors affecting productivity and coke rate in blast furnace in iron making. As in my introduction, sir has told about my education and my interest of areas and where I am working. So this total program, which related with the FDP, Faculty Development Program, in which we are talking about the productivity. In the previous sessions and in coming sessions also, I will want to say about productivity. Productivity is a very, very important terms in every sense. Whatever inputs we are giving in any kind of activity, and from that activity we are getting an output. So if we are able to get a better output, good output, resultant output with less amount of input, our productivity will improve. As from the definition of productivity, which almost we all are knowing, productivity is output divided by input. So if output we want more, either we have to reduce input less or vice versa. So this is the basic definition of productivity. In this slide, there are so many factors which affects productivity in every type of process. It may be a technical factor, a production factor, organizational factor, personal, finance, management, government, or location related factors. As I am engineer in Bhilai Steel Plant, I am concerned with one of the most important factor, which is a technical factor. From the example of blast furnace productivity, in which we produce iron, I am going to describe how the productivity of a process can be improved, what are the factors which affect the productivity, and while doing this, we know there is so many factors which are positive, some of the factors are negative. Not only positive factor and negative factor affect the productivity, they have an effect in some serious matter, some very small amount, but we are not knowing the coefficient of that factors. If we are able to know what are the positive factors as well as that their coefficient, and simultaneously in the case of negative factor also, so we can improve the productivity by working on it and able to remove or diminish the negative factors. As if the people who are attending this seminar, they have attended the blast furnace process. Blast furnace is a giant chemical reactor in which near about 2758 chemical reaction take place simultaneously, more or less out of control. So You note this factor 2758, 2758 chemical reactions. It's very big, huge numbers, and we are not able to control each and every one. But few are very, very important. So out of most important, few I have taken in the account. It's not
Light sharing is stop, sir.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'm again sharing
Again, please. Light.
network issue.
This
Data to the
conference will
process.
now be recorded.
Objective is cost reduction, customer satisfaction, optimal production.
Okay.
Okay. This is the overview of blast furnace. This the central part of the furnace is the basic furnace in which we put the all raw materials to this skip hoist system. We send hot air near about 1000+ degree temperature, and the input of the in furnace is iron bearing materials, which is iron ore and sinter, from where we extract iron. Second thing is that we have to put coke inside the furnace, which burn. But in the process, when we send the raw materials, there is some undesirable particle will also go inside. They are silica, alumina, some of magnesium oxide, manganese oxide, etc. All these raw materials, which is not a need in the furnace, but in the process it will go inside. So we have to remove it. For that, we have to add limestone, because limestone contain lime in it. So lime will make slag by fluxing all these undesirable oxides. And for sending a hot air, we have stoves. So this is the basic thing in blast furnace, which the blast furnace runs. These are the temperature zones. In front of the two air, this is called two air, from where the air go inside. Maximum temperature is near about 2200 degrees centigrade. Everything which charge inside the furnace except coke burnt, while other all raw material melted. From top to bottom, temperature will improve. We charge raw material from the top, and from her top level, we will send hot air. Because of this hot air, coke burnt and the melting happened in the furnace. These are the different zones in the furnace. Quite natural, gases go upward and raw materials move downward. Because when melting happened in front of the two air, we will remove the hot metal and slag from the furnace. By this diagram, it's clear. The coke is the only things which is looking black, through which the permeability happened. The gases go upward, and these black layers are, if we say it's a layer of coke, so the reddish layer is a layer of iron bearing material like sinter, iron ore, and some amount of flux. This is the burden. Burden means calculated amount of the raw materials which we charge inside the furnace. Due to the reaction and melting, quite natural, raw materials move downwards. At the upward level, the temperature is less, and downward level, when the raw materials goes down, the melting happened and the movement of the charge downward happened. But we continually charge the materials. It means the level of the furnace we always maintain. It may be 1 meter or 1.5 meter, we always maintain. So the two forces worked: upward force of blast and downward force of raw material. This is the permeability diagram. It means we cannot charge all fine material, or we cannot charge the material in a bigger size. If blast furnace, all raw materials have a blend of a selected size range, it will give a very good permeability. The center circle is a correct for that. Bigger size is coke and a smaller size is sinter and ore. So not only we want all smaller size raw materials or bigger size raw materials, we want the combination of both. The middle circle is the correct, and this is in front of 2R. Actually, my focus is productivity. I am coming very soon, but if someone are not knowing about the blast furnace process, we have trying to describe with this diagram how blast furnace work. Now comes the productivity part. As I said, there is so many raw materials we use. Quite natural. We want in our iron bearing material, Fe part should be good. In our sinter, Fe part should be good. In the part of coke, coke must have good quality. The quality for the coke is it should have a very good fluxed, fixed carbon, having ash percentage less. When you use sinter, Fe should be good. When we send hot blast temperature should be maximized. Charging practices, it shows how the raw materials is distributed inside the furnace. When you remove the metal and slag from the cast house, what type of practices involved in cast house? Not dry cast means whenever you open the cast, all the liquid which is inside of the furnace should be completely removed, and then tapping should be closed. So not dry cast is avoided. Taphole clay, as the very high temperature metal and slag continuously come out of the tap hole, so the clay through which the tap hole is closed, if it will erode, quite naturally we are not able to drain all of the hot metal and slag from the furnaces. Use of high top pressure, we are sending hot air from the lower level of the furnace. When it go inside, it reacts with the carbon and form carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide which goes inside, it will come in contact with Fe2O3, iron ore, downwards. So the reaction between gases and solid should be more, but we are sending this hot air which is called hot blast in a very pressurized manner, so it will not retain too much time inside the furnace. But if we stop or the outward journey of hot air now which is converted in gas by a wall for some time, so the gases inside the furnace will retain some time, just like a concept of cooker. Making any food with the help of cooker is faster because steam retain inside the cooker, and the raw food जो हम बनाते हैं, it will faster process. As well as the use of blast additive in the process, we need steam, oxygen, auxiliary fuel. As well as that, the breakdown and repair time should be less. Campaign life of the furnace, means once you start the furnace, it will run for long time. So as I said earlier, there are so many factors involved in the process. With the experience, these are the some common factor I have chosen, in which some are positive, some are negative, will come in the next slides, and their coefficient also. These are the factors. Now comes productivity part and coke rate part of the blast furnace. I have to say by example, as I'm sitting in this room has some volume. As well as that, when we talk about the engine, it has some volume. As well as in case of any type of equipments which we're doing a production part, volume of that equipment is a very, very important factor. So in case of blast furnace, what is the volume? The inside volume in which we send the raw materials. Now if a furnace is producing 1000 ton per day, and the volume of the furnace is also 1000 ton, so in case of blast furnace, the definition of productivity is tons per meter cube per day. When we then second example, productivity based on working volume. As well as that, from the hearth area point of view, we can also calculate the productivity. We can also calculate the productivity by useful volume. So these are the formulas written. So as I said, a 1000 meter cube furnace, if produce 1000 ton a day, the productivity is 1 ton per meter cube per day. If by working on the factors which affect the production, somehow I am able to produce 1200 ton from that furnace. So in this case, my productivity will come 1.2 ton per meter cube per day. But how I have done it? How I have improved the production? So here comes the calculation part of the productivity. So hello,
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Virik, hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sir.
Uh,
Your PPT is visible, sir.
PPT is visible. No? Next slide, I am not able to move on. Just a minute, sir.
Oh.
Okay, sir. Now it's visible.
No, sir. Screen and
Okay, okay,
video
okay.
is also
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
available.
Okay. ठीक है सर, ये अभी जुड़ जाएगा. Okay, sir. Now it's visible.
PPT is visual,
Yes, sir.
visible, sir.
PPT is
But
visible.
your
Okay.
video,
Camera,
video is
camera.
not, sir.
Video.
Camera.
Video. Video part is not available. Now it's okay,
Yeah,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
You can share slides, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So these are the definitions of productivity. It means from a furnace, if I am able to produce more tons, my productivity improve. As well as in case of coke rate. Coke rate is what? For producing 1 ton of hot metal, the amount of coke which is needed, that is called coke rate. In a fixed volume, we are charging two things. One is coke and another is non-coke. If I will able to reduce my coke, so quite natural, from that fixed volume, non-coke will incorporate more. Okay, I have to look about my heat value, because from coke heat will come, from hot blast heat will come, from coal dust injection heat will come. So I have to counteract. But if somehow I am able to reduce the coke part for 1 ton of production of hot metal, quite natural, again my productivity will improve, because my production will improve and coke rate is reduced. So in the process of making hot metal from the blast furnace, if coke rate we are able to reduce, but natural productivity will improve. They both are indirectly proportional. These are the some definition and how it will go improve. Here comes the productivity of some of the world best furnaces. Their burden and what are the injectant. Injectant means as well as coke, they are charging some amount of coal. That is called coal dust injection. In some areas where gases are available, natural gas, mostly in the South Americas, they are injecting gas also. Some we are injecting oil also. In some areas, they're introducing one or two more things with coke. Burden. In the era when the lump ore is reducing too much, from 1970s, sinter comes in the picture. Sinter is nothing but the small particles of ore which is agglomerated. Agglomeration is hitting just below the incipient fusion, means small particles of iron ore with fine particles of coke and lime dust when combined with the help of moisture, and it is preheated up to that temperature where the melting will not happen. Only the particles combine each other. The surface hot and they join each other. So the small particles now becomes a bigger particle, and in blast furnace, as we need some size of the material, so now this can be charged inside the furnace. That is called sinter, and microfines, with the help of microfines, we are able to produce pellets. So these are the burden part and injectant. See the productivity. The best furnaces of Japan, 2.7 tons per meter cube per day. Korea, 2.7. USA, 2.5, 3.1, 4.2 some furnaces. Canada, 2.9, Sweden, etc. etc. This is shown by this slide. And these are some best parameters related with the factors which I said. One of the furnace of Netherlands, there is a furnace number this 7, Hugon. Hugon is the design of the stove. Their productivity, they got 3.37 tons meter cube per day. In the same furnace, their coke rate is 268, very small. I'll come in the picture of Bhilai also. The 268 kg per ton of hot metal is very small. There is one furnace in Japan in which the coal dust injection is reaches up to level of 266 kg per ton of hot metal. Hot blast temperature in Japan, one of the furnace 1350 degrees centigrade. Top pressure 2.5 kg per centimeter square. Very high. Furnace need very good strength. Slag rate 203, very small. Oxygen enrichment up to 13.2. Oil injection 100. Natural gas 130 normal meter cube per ton of hot metal. Silicon very less 0.17. My reason of using this slide in this presentation is that you will just remember some level and some values here when we come in my part of productivity calculation, which I have done somewhere in 2011, etc. I have done a project on productivity. I am using that data also in future slides. So I am very fortunate that I have given in responsibility of doing a productivity calculation in 2009 to 2011. This 3-year data of productivity, coke rate, hot blast temperature, Nordrake cast, sinter percentage, blast pressure, top pressure, volume, oxygen enrichment, which is BF5. I have taken this data. I'm not knowing. I think most of the person understand the modeling analysis part. There is a software in which if we put all this data in for a regression analysis like that, so these things comes. We know the multiple regression analysis as well as we know about the linear regression analysis. There is a formula in the linear regression analysis, y equal to a plus bx and c. Y is a dependent variable and a part is the intercept, b part is independent variable with x, means that is the coefficient of b related with that independent variable. But in the case when we go 1 to 1, suppose there's you are seeing a graph CDI rate with coke rate. You see the corner, top corner, 350, 400, 450, 500. The value of coke rate is improving. You see correspondingly CDI rate 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 means the graph is going downwards. What it shows, if we able to introduce more coal dust injection in the furnace, we will able to get less coke rate. So this is a linear. But it's not having multiple because one factor is calculated. But when you do the multiple linear regression in which you got a one value, maybe coke rate or productivity, but there is so many factors. As we are seeing, there is more than 2000 factors. But main 10, 15 factors we will take for the regression analysis from the data of blast furnace 5 of 3 year. And when we put these values and we done the regression analysis, one very nice thing happened. That regression analysis. Hello,
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
sir. Hello,
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Audible.
ऑडिबल है? हाँ, फिर ये
Yes,
हमारा
sir. Yes,
स्लाइड
sir.
आगे नहीं बढ़ रहा है सर. जस्ट मिनट सर.
हाँ.
Excel. This. This. Share screen. So see, the regression analysis in case of a productivity, when the data, I'm audible, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Audible. Yes, sir. You are
Audible.
audible.
And you are able to see me also.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Please
Okay.
continue.
So the regression analysis Excel sheet is here. When you put the 3-year data of one of the blast furnace of Bhilai Steel Plant, we have able to produce a formula. Formula is see. These small things which is written. 1.37 is the intercept, as well as that this H36, H37, H38. When we see these are different parameters. Suppose it's a tapping duration or moisture percentage in the raw materials, or how much is the availability of the furnace, what is the sinter percentage in the charge, how much coke ash in the furnace, what is the silicon coming from the hot metal, how much sulfur is produced in hot metal, what is the slag rate, what is the fine size of sinter, and how much oxygen we are able to enrich in the furnace. In the comparative data of international standard you have seen, that's why they are able to get great productivities. So we are generating data and we are able to get the productivity also. I'm just for the example putting some values. Let's my tapping duration is the 80%. 80% means out of the 24-hour time, 80% time my furnace tap hole is open, from which I am able to remove metal and slag. Moisture is in the raw material is 5%. Availability time for the furnace operation is 99%. Sinter percent in the charge means iron ore and sinter, which is my iron bearing material, in which sinter incorporate 67%. Coke ash is 15.5. Silicon in my hot metal is 0.5. Sulfur is 0.02 because of undesirable product oxides inside the raw material. My slag rate is coming 425. Fines 5 millimeter in center is 30. I want plus 5 more, and I am able to give only 1.6% of oxygen. So by that formula, I am able to produce 1.3639 tons per meter cube per day. This is the productivity. Okay. Now comes a very beautiful part from this regression analysis. The formula is showing in the up fx this. Okay. Suppose somehow I'm able to produce my hot metal instead of 0.5, 0.4. See what happened. The productivity changes 1.44. So these are the factors, so many factors. When multiple linear regression we have done, silicon able to reduce from 0.5 to 0.4, my productivity rises from 1.39 ton to 1.44. What it shows, lower silicon in hot metal will produce more. But in previously, when this type of analysis is not done, we are not able to know
Sir,
how
do you
much
have
we have. Okay, बोलिए sir. Hello, hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, sir. It's okay, sir. There is some disturbance
Okay.
from.
Okay. So only reducing 0.1% of silicon, I am able to improve 0.05 productivity. So it's a correlation between silicon and productivity in a multiple linear. Okay, let's go for the sinter percent. Now, because of any reason, I'm able to produce good quality sinter in a better amount, and sinter percentage I've improved from 60 to 75. Let's see what happened. My productivity again rises from 1.44 to 1.48. It means if I am able to incorporate more sinter in the process, again my productivity will is improving. Remember, silicon I reduced, productivity improves. Sinter I improved, productivity improve. Let's come with the case of coke ash. We all know in coke, fixed carbon is a very important thing, and ash is undesirable. So quite natural, it's a negative factor. But how much? Suppose 15.5 is a coke ash in the process. Now coke ash will improve from 15.5 to 17%. Here again productivity reduce 1.44. What it shows? Coke ash improve, productivity reduce. Like oxygen injection. Suppose instead of 1.6, I am able to inject 6% of oxygen. What happened? Productivity rises very high, 1.88. So these multiple linear regression analysis not only give me which factors are positive and which factors are negative, as well as that it is able to help me what is the coefficient of a particular parameter, which if I able to improve, my productivity will improve, as well as that what are the negative factors and what is their coefficient also. If I am able to cut the negative parameters, as well as if not able to totally remove, reduce their coefficient, I can improve the productivity. Same with the case of coke rate also. Sheet 9. Here also, coke rate in the process is 440 kg. Means for producing 1 ton of hot metal, 440 kg coke is needed. Now, coke is a costliest material. We want less coke for producing 1 ton of hot metal. What we will do? Let's see. Can we improve sinter from 67 to, let's see, 70? What effect we got? 436. What it shows? If we improve sinter, coke rate will reduce. Same for case of silicon also. If instead of 0.5, I am able to run the furnace in lower silicon, let's say 3.5. My coke rate again reduced over 110. So I'm very thankful to my management of industrial
Hello,
plant.
Mr. Manoj Kumar, please mute your mic. Okay, sir, continue.
Okay, sir. So I'm very thankful to my management, as well as that time I am doing my MTech, and one of my senior is there, very senior knowledgeable sir, who has put me in this area of working, in which as a working as a blast furnace operator, as a executive, I'm running a furnace, in charge of the furnace, working in the process. We want good coke, we want high amount of sinter, we want good oxygen, we want less silicon in the process, but we are not able to know what are the important factor in their coefficient value. With the help of this, when I run the furnace, I am able to know that if I will run the furnace with the low silicon, I get more productivity. If I am able to improve more center, I will get very good productivity, as well as I am able to reduce the coke rate. Same with the case of top pressure also. As I told, top pressure basically an example of cooker. If you want to make a food without cooker and with cooker, what happened? With the help of cooker, the process becomes very fast because steam remains in a pressurized condition inside the cooker. Same in the case of blast furnace also. We are sending hot air. That hot air is moving upward, and if we are retaining for some time, it means that on going gases, removing gases from the top, there is a throttle valve called septum valve. If you control the septum valve, the pressure inside of the furnace will improve. Means the gases remain in the furnace for a longer time. So furnace is pressurized from the top. So this is also a factor. Top pressure. Top pressure, if the running 0.45, we will do it 0.6. What happened? Coke rate reduced drastically, 406. Means top pressure is a very, very important factor. Same in the case of hot blast. The air which we are sending inside the furnace, it's 950 degrees centigrade. Somehow, with the help of a very good gas air ratio, or stove modernization, or stove maintenance, whatever way, I am able to make hot blast temperature 1000 degree. See, coke rate remove, but not too much. 408 comes to 406. Although I have improved 50 degree hot blast temperature. Previously, we think that it's a very, very important factor. Then we realize it's a important factor, but not as compared to top pressure, not as compared to silicon. So this is the beautiful part. By the regression analysis, we know what are the positive factors and what are the negative factors. So here comes the suggestion part. By this analysis, what we learned and what the suggestions we are going for improving our productivity and coke rate. If we modernize our equipment, if we run a furnace with larger size, you see, blast furnace Bhilai Steel plant is having 7 furnaces. Now the 8th furnace come in our fleet. It's the biggest furnaces. The volume is 4060 meter cube. Our BF7 modernized, its volume improved from 2000 to 2300 meter cube. Our older furnaces 1, 2, 3 is having 1033, 1033 meter cube volume. Our middle size furnaces 4, 5, 6, 1719 meter cube. So as the time gone, bigger furnaces come in the picture. What we have learned in this process, bigger furnaces, less input, output is more, less energy, less labor. So these are the suggestions. So larger blast press operation, high hot blast temperature, increased percent of oxygen enrichment. When oxygen go inside, okay, you are sending air is having 23% of oxygen, plus when you send only oxygen 1 or 2 or 3 or 6%, what happened? The formation of carbon monoxide at the lower level improves drastically, and this carbon monoxide rich furnace, when react with the downward movement of iron oxide, the gas solid reaction will improve, and productivity improves. Auxiliary fuel injection we have to maximize. During this suggestion, I want to say one thing. Coke is very, very important raw material in the process. You cannot remove all of the coke from the furnace, because at the lower level, when all non-coke melted, only coke remains in a solid condition. Between the permeability of the coke, the liquid slag and liquid metal comes downwards in the hearth. So at the lower part of the furnace, in front of the tuer, you need coke to be in a solid state. But you cannot remove zero. You cannot make zero coke. You have seen in one of the slides, the 268 is the minimum coke in the world standard. We are at present operating in our best furnaces near about 380 once we have achieved 380 kg per ton of hot metal in the best conditions. There is some, we have to go in the depth. It works on the fixed carbon, less ash, good CSR, CRI values. These all things come from the raw materials. So these are maximization in the auxiliary fuel injection totally depends upon the coke quality as well as high hot blast temperature and oxygen enrichment. In which areas we are working. In our BF8, we have reaches up to 8% of oxygen enrichment also. Recently, you have read it in paper also, we have achieved plus 9,000 ton of production also from that furnace. So if the raw material improved, means in iron ore, if we ever able to get more Fe, in sinter Fe high, washing of the coke, washing of the iron ore, all helped in the process. Improved raw material quality, improved burden distribution facility. Raw materials is called basically burden. Calculated amount of non-coke with coke is called burden. Just imagine 30 to 40 meter tall structure having a volume near about 2000 meter cube. You are filling the raw material inside the furnace. It cannot be thrown inside the furnace simply. You have to distribute raw materials in the proper way. The people who are knowing about the distribution, there is one chute at the top. That chute rotates inside top of the furnace. We can able to change the angle of the chute as well as the rotation of the chute. So just like the process of doing rangoli, if any person is having a small powder of rangoli in your hand and you want to make a rangoli, what you do? You are able to put any color, anything at any place. Same the work of the chute inside the furnace. It will rotate as well as that change its angle also. So you can put any of the raw material at any place. You can do the circular charging, you can do the segmental charging, you can do the spiral charging, you can do the spot charging. So any areas you want coke or non-coke, how do we know it? There's a probes on the top of the furnace. The gases which is going out of the furnace will show the temperature in different zones. So if you feel this zone is not active, we can improve coke in that area, or highly active, or the channeling happened. So for that we do the distribution. Most of time a common distribution we will do, one layer of coke, one layer of iron ore, layer of coke, layer of non-coke. One by one we charge inside the furnace to maintain a proper permeability. So this distribution part, if you improve, if you are able to improve the charging capabilities, it means charging capabilities, how we improve. Previously we are working with skip charging system. Charging with the help of skip, have some time from stockhouse bottom level, skip it up to the top. One skip will go, when it will go up, other will come down, it will take the charge, again go and down. This process will run. But what happened? It has some limitation because it will take some time. In the modern furnaces, in our BF8, we have removed this charging system and now we have belt charging system. That is very easy. Belt is moving, put the raw materials on the belt. Whatever amount of raw materials, if the furnace is needed, furnace has good productivity, you can send. This is the enhanced charging capabilities. Enhanced casting capabilities. This is a very nice area, cast house. If people have visited in the blast furnace, they are seeing hot metal and slag running as a liquid. So many times when I am in the furnace, people come, they are standing in the gallery, they are seeing hot metal and slag flowing like a liquid water. They are amazed. They are seeing iron and steel in a solid forms. They can't believe in their eyes that the liquid is flowing, metal and slag is flowing in just like a liquid. But controlling that metal and slag in the cast house in a proper way, the metal goes in the metal areas, slag goes in the slag areas. They cannot be mixed. The ladles which you are using, it should be placed properly. When it will be filled, it cannot be come out. Suppose these ladles are moving on rail track, because of human error, it will overflow. What happened? The rails downwards will melt. You are not able to remove that ladle from that place. till the rail will not change. What happened? At that time, you are sending hot air inside the furnace. When you are sending hot air in the sender, it means continuously process is going on. Liquid is forming inside, and you are not able to remove, because when metal fall inside on floor, on from out of the ladle, what happened? You have to stop tapping. When you stop tapping, it means you are not able to remove your hot metal and slag. When you are not able to remove the hot metal and slag from the furnace, you have to reduce the blast air inside the furnace. It means you have to reduce the production. You are producing inside the furnace, but you are not able to remove it from the furnace. What happened? All the tubes surround the furnace filled with liquid iron and slag. The furnace will stop. Furnace will choke. So casting capabilities means continuous removal of hot metal and slag. It must be faster than the production rate. There are so many things done in these areas. Previously, there is no rocking runners. There are limitations of putting only 4 ladles. Ladle size is very small. Now the torpedo ladles comes in the pictures. They're having size 500 tons at a time. So these are the improving enhanced casting capabilities. Then the radars are fixed, level indicator. We are not dependent on humans to watch the level of hot metal. Improved cooling and refractory configuration. When you go on in detail, it comes in the design of the furnace. What is furnace? Furnace is the shell having coolers and then the refractories. And then inside this raw material is filled. Means a circular furnace having a very thick shell surrounded inside from a coolers. And then from cooler, there is one refractories. So the layer of cell, then a layer of cooler, and then layer of refractories. So these coolers never comes in the contact of any of the raw materials or liquid metal or slag. And inside of these coolers, there is a coil of steel pipes. Continuously water is going and coming out. There is 4 or 5 degree temperature difference. Never any cooler should punctured. If cooler will punctured or burn, the water goes inside the furnace, and water is the biggest enemy in blast furnace. You need water to cool the shell, to cool the refractory, but water never go inside the furnace. It will do the chilled hearth. If water go inside, the liquid will solidify. Never able to remove it. That is called chilling of the furnace. Very big threat for blast furnace operator. Chilling hearth. So improved cooling and refractory configuration, higher hot top pressure operation. I told already about that. Improved instrumentation, data processing. You all understand the instrumentation and data how helpful. Interaction with downstream process. Okay, it's very good. As most of people have visited in Bhilai steel plant, it's an integrated plant. It means blast furnace do the equilibrium part in steel making. When the blast furnace will run good, the lower stream processes like sinter plant, like Coco One, mines, they have to perform to fulfill the need of blast furnace. And if blast furnace will run good, you will be able to produce hot metal, means iron. But natural, you have to convert this iron into steel. And then from steel, you have to produce finished product, rail, plates, etc. So total things comes with each other. So interaction with downstream process is very, very important. You want to improve your productivity. You want to improve your production, but sinter plant is not supporting. Coke you are not getting, or from the mines area you are not able to get iron ore. How will run? So downstream process will help to produce more, as well as that upstream process also help. If steel is not able to make, what you do with the production of hot metal? Where you put, how much the volume of mixer is there, how much ladles you have. Quite natural, you have to reduce the blast. Humidification of blast, very smart. What is humidification? In the process of making iron, we send hot air, we send cold dust injection. But if you send steam inside the furnace, what happened? When steam go inside with high temperature, it will break. You got hydrogen. Hydrogen is also a reducing agent. As a carbon monoxide is a reducing agent which reduce iron oxides, and we get Fe. Hydrogen also do the same part. But the beautiful part is that hydrogen is very thin gas compared to carbon monoxide. So the gas solid reaction with hydrogen is better than carbon monoxide, but it will happen nicely at somehow high temperature. The furnaces which are operating in the high temperature, they will inject more amount of steam and get the benefit. So reduction in downtime and more availability of the furnace, blast furnace. There is so many equipments attached in the blast furnace. For closing, you need mud gun. For opening, you need drill machine. In cast house, there is so many equipments. You are having crane, you are having top equipments. All this equipment should function properly. You should do the proper maintenance also. Proper maintenance also. If any of the instrument is failed to perform at the right time, you have to reduce or throttle the process, which in turn reduce the production, enhance productivity also. So these are the some very, very important suggestions which I have given in that process of doing this my project. So it's clear by this presentation at the previously which I have said this. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, you're
There are
audible,
so
sir.
many audible. There is so many factors. Now, from little bit, I'm removing my talk from technical to some different area. We have seen this is one process, blast furnace. There is so many factors. What is the factors? Raw materials input, sending air in a very high temperature, getting the production. In the production, quality also affects. Good quality, bad quality. If the quality is good, we are able to produce more, and when the productivity improves, quite natural. The main target, which is getting a production from an equipment, if improves, which in turn improve the productivity. While doing this thing, one thing come in my mind, a very small thing, producing iron from an equipment. There is a factor. So productivity of a process, a technical process, can human also able to produce more? Can we able to improve our productivity? Why not? We are seeing in our day-to-day life, we are doing everything. We are sleeping, we are eating, we are doing exercise, we are able to improve the quality of our life. What are the factors? So many factors. Time management is a factor, emotions control is a factor, reading is a factor, emotion control as well as spiritual learning is a factor. These are so many factors. It is a, for man to man it varies. So if we know as an individual what are the factor work for me, which giving me a chance to improve my life, and what factors affect me positively and what factor affect me negatively. By this regression analysis, I work in my life also. This is not a time to discuss these subjects here, but I think I am able to give a message to everyone कि a process in which we are producing hot metal, there are factors, and by the regression analysis, we are knowing positive and negative, and we are also knowing the coefficient, and we are also knowing the end result. Same thing can be done in every area of life also, in our family life, in our personal life, whatever things we are doing, we are teacher or we are managers, we can same thing analyze and do. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And if anything anyone want to ask, if I'm able to give answer, the questions are welcome, sir.
Please, participants, if you have any query, you can ask.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
हाँ सर बोलिए
Sir, sorry for the interruption. I have a question to Vikas sir.
बोलिए बोलिए
Sir, in case of waste management point of view,
Okay.
regarding slag, sir.
slag
So how to yes, sir. How to utilize this slag in case of environmental aspect?
Okay, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Do you ever visited in Bhilai blast furnace or any blast furnace?
Sir, yes, sir. I have in my past experience, I have experience with Bhushan Steel in case of Jharsuguda, Odisha,
Very
where
nice.
I have learned. Yes, sir, we have 200 TPD of that particular blast furnace. Later on, it was expand, but my field is casting machine, sir.
Okay,
But
okay.
I
Casting
don't
machine,
about
casting,
that
casting
particular.
machine.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, okay. Uh,
Oh, sir.
slag. I will have a time also. So let's talk about the slag also. Slag comes from all the raw materials. When you charge iron oxide, which is Fe2O3, when you see the composition of iron oxide, there is a silica, SiO2, 5 to 6%. There is a alumina, 3 to 4%, as well as some amount of manganese oxide, some amounts of magnesium oxides, etc. in the raw iron ore. Sinter, almost the same. Coke ash, fixed carbon is near about 85%. Ash is there 15, 13, 14, 15%. Ash is nothing but alumina and silica. So whatever the raw material you charge inside the furnace, this all other oxides comes inside the process. These oxides are removed. Mostly these oxides are either acidic oxides or neutral oxides. So removing this oxide, we need calcium oxide, means lime. So either directly the calcium oxide is incorporated in the sinter making process, and if that is not available, then we charge limestone. Limestone is calcium carbonate. When with the help of heat, carbon dioxide is removed, we got calcium oxide. But this process is an endothermic reaction, so we directly not use limestone in the blast furnace process. Previously it will done, but what happened? When direct limestone is used, the coke rate will improve. When coke rate improved, quite natural, slag formation improved and productivity reduced. So sinter maximum we try to use. So when you see the analysis of slag, it is having basicity near about 0.95 to 1. Means calcium oxide and SiO2 is almost same, 33, 34% calcium oxide, same amount of silicon oxide, both near about 70%. Remaining is alumina, manganese oxide, all etc. So major part is calcium oxide. That is very, very good for making sinter. We are very lucky that we have so many cement plant here. So this calcium oxide is very helpful in formation of cement. So we have 2 cement plant very near to our Bhilai steel plant. They are our customer. So cement making, for making up road, these are very good raw materials. Okay, sir.
Okay,
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Cement making and road making, mostly we are used the sinter, slag. Any other questions, sir?
Yes, anyone? Okay. So there are no questions more.
Okay, sir.
First of
My
all,
mobile number is available, sir. If anyone want to talk to me and know about this process in deep, or anyone want to visit Bhilai steel plant, I am always welcome anyone.
Sir, one more question. Vikas, sir.
Okay, okay. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Sir, what are the different tool you are used in case of process mapping in case of blast furnace in your company or in your plant?
Okay.
Process
Okay.
mapping tools you are used in case of process mapping, sir. What are the tools used in case of process mapping? In case of
Process
blast
mapping.
furnace? Yes, sir.
As you know, the blast furnace, Bhilai steel plant is an integrated steel plant.
Yes, sir.
The process mapping is very, very important in it. Right from every detail of mines to the dispatch to our customer, all things we have to know. Okay, the operator which is related with very small areas, suppose I am iron making, so I am concerned with my raw materials, availability of raw materials, dispatch of iron ore from to me, center plant, center formation, how much amount of center they are having. Then comes mapping of the furnaces, in which what is the furnace condition when we produce the hot metal and slag, we want to dispatch. What is the situation in mixer? What is the situation in our steel making process? This should comes to be mean. So for mapping of this thing, we have a very good plant control is there. Plant control always have simulation process in which the data are coming to our mobile directly about the situation of the plant. I'm in this video conference. Otherwise, I can able to show. If I click from here to in my mobile, at the time I will get at a glance picture of whole of the plant, which are the equipment are working, which are stopped, if working in what capacities they are working, how much they are producing. So as per that, I can improve or reduce my process. So this type of tools we are available in our mobiles also, in our through our plant control also. So many areas peoples are seated everywhere in iron making departments, in our steel making department. PPCs people are there, which will time to time update us. And if we have a minute time, we can see to our mobile also.
Thank you,
This
sir.
will help us.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gajat sir.
Yes, any other? Yeah. Okay, sir. Now there are no queries. So
Okay.
first of all, on behalf of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Christian College of Engineering and Technology, Bhilai, I, Dr. R.H. Gajghat, would like to express my gratitude towards Sri Vikas Nashine sir for accepting our invitation to conduct a session. I am very much thankful to you, sir, for
Thank
sparing
you very much, sir.
your valuable time, sharing your knowledge with us. You have well explained the blast furnace nicely, sir. Your session was too informative and knowledgeable for all of us. Definitely,
Thank you,
all
sir.
the participants will be benefited by this session. Also, I would like to thanks all the participants for joining and listening the whole session. Thank you all again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.